The Miami Dolphins have cut Kyle Van Noy. What does that mean? Does that mean they're going to trade for Deshaun Watson? In this video, I'm going to discuss why Kyle Van Noy being cut from Miami might actually mean that Miami, the Dolphins, are ready to make a blockbuster move, a blockbuster trade that could send Deshaun Watson to Miami to play for the Dolphins in 2021. Before I give you my thoughts on this crazy trade situation, make sure that you do spike that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Bottom Line View for more NFL rumors and analysis just like this. Kyle Van Noy has been cut. This was Brian Flores' piece, his New England Patriot that he wanted to bring in to establish culture, that he wanted to bring in to be a part of his hybrid defense, his hybrid front seven. And Kyle Van Noy was pretty awesome for the Miami Dolphins in 2020, which is why it was really surprising for basically the entire NFL to see Kyle Van Noy be released. But that is why it makes me think. That is why it makes me believe that there could be a bigger picture, a bigger move. Maybe this is just a play for Miami to open up some cap space to be able to maneuver to get Deshaun Watson. I'm just throwing it out there, and I wanted to jump on this before everybody else starts talking about it, but it really does make sense. Miami is one of the only teams in the NFL that could actually make a move like this. They're one of the only teams that has the draft capital, the cap space, a legitimate team that Watson would want to play for, and a pretty cool city to go along with it. Miami is in a prime position to make a play for Deshaun Watson, especially now that they've just released $9 million worth of cap space, and they have those draft picks that they could send Houston's way to make this thing a reality. I was as shocked as you when I saw Kyle Van Noy was cut. 1 year into a 4-year, $51 million deal, okay? That is crazy. We rarely see that, even if a player plays bad. But the thing is, Van Noy played well. Not only did he play well, he was a captain, was productive, maybe had his best season of his career in Miami in 2020. So that's what's so shocking. Kyle Van Noy obviously wasn't very happy about it, kind of was voicing his displeasure about it once he was cut. Van Noy might not see the big picture here, the way that Brian Flores or the Miami front office may see the big picture, or yours truly might see the big picture. If this in fact is a move to open up space to get Deshaun Watson, it's worth it. It's totally worth it, right? Even if it's a move to bring in a big-time wide receiver or possibly a big-time left tackle or offensive lineman. The move that wouldn't make sense is to cut Van Noy and then replace him with another edge rusher, maybe of better quality, but for more money. There are really not a lot of guys that are better fits for this system to go along with great locker room guys and captains and leaders that you need to build this culture in Miami. Van Noy was nice to have for 1 year. He's still a great player. He's a top 30 edge rusher in the league. There's no doubt about it. And yes, he's more of a scheme guy than a pure pass rusher, get after the quarterback and get 10 sacks. But what he does is a lot of different hybrid things for you, right? Coverage. He could play linebacker. He could blitz. He could rush off the edge. He's one of the smarter guys at that position in the league. So he does a lot of things. So to give him up, and especially the way that Brian Flores thinks of him, thinks highly of him, must mean that they are really in to make something happen here. Like, they wouldn't simply just cut Van Noy, a productive player for them, again, a productive player for them, just to make some other edge rush move. Or, like, they don't need a corner, right? I guess they could get a safety, but, like, that really wouldn't make sense. The only move that makes sense is a quarterback, and you're stretching it with the offensive line or the wide receiver, because there's really only one wide receiver that I feel like they'll realistically be able to get, which is Allen Robinson. Offensive linemen, like Trent Williams, is kind of getting older. It doesn't really make sense to pay him a whole bunch of money if you're Miami. You look at the guard position, and guards typically don't go for a ton of money, and you probably could get Joe Tooney. You probably could get Corey Linsley at center, or Brandon Scherf, whoever you wanted, even without releasing Van Noy. So the only move that makes sense to make this move is to get Deshaun Watson, or to at least try to get Deshaun Watson. And then if it doesn't work, hey, we can work from there. The Dolphins have increased their salary cap by roughly $9.5 million. It jumps from $22.7 million to $31.8 million, according to overthecap.com. They have players that they feel good about at the edge position, which is another reason I feel like this isn't just like, oh, let's release Van Noy and let's sign Shaq Barrett, or let's release Van Noy and let's sign Bud Dupree. Like, I don't see that as the case here. And if it is the case, I'll be disappointed because I don't think that's a good move, realistically. Just a couple days ago, very famous reporter out of Houston, John McClain, their biggest reporter there for the Texans, most reliable, well-renowned, he put out a report that suggests that the Texans need to trade Deshaun Watson right now. So for him to say that, or for him to suggest that they make that move, I think there's an inkling there that Deshaun is not going to play for the Texans this coming season. He's going to sit out as long as he can to get traded. So that to me means that the Texans aren't going to be able to play that guessing game with Deshaun, and they're going to have to make a move sooner rather than later. That is followed up 2 days later by this release of Kyle Van Noy to open up the cap space. We know free agency is just around the corner, and if a team is going to make a move like that, they're going to have to make it early on so that they can kind of build the rest of the roster around Deshaun and understand that they're not going to have those draft picks to fall back on, and they can basically make the moves accordingly. The question is, how much is Deshaun Watson going to cost? Well, luckily for Miami, if they want to make the move, they can make the move. Whether it's trading Tua along with a couple first-round picks, throwing your second-round picks. Remember, you're basically giving the Texans picks back to them in order to get your franchise quarterback. You're playing with house money here, in my opinion. And even though the trade offer that I would suggest seems like a lot, it really isn't if you get a guy that's going to be your franchise for the next 10 plus years, and you're going to be in the championship window for the next decade as long as you have good coaching, which you have currently, and a good enough roster to be competitive. The trade offer that I would propose would be 2 first-round picks in 2021, 2 second-round picks in 2021, a first in 2022, and Tua for Deshaun Watson. Now, I don't know if that's going to be all it takes or if that's way too much. I don't really know the market for Deshaun Watson, but I would think that it would take at least 3 to 4 first-round picks. Tua kind of is a first-round pick, so it kind of depends what the Texans think of him, if they feel like he can be their guy. Obviously, I'm much more pro towards making this trade because I just don't think Tua is your guy. I'm sorry. If you do believe Tua is your guy, then maybe you're a little bit more hesitant to make this move. But trust me, guys, you wouldn't regret a Deshaun Watson trade. I think if anything, you would regret not making the trade. Now, maybe you guys don't go on to win 2-3 Super Bowls, but at the same time, I still think if you don't, you're still getting a franchise quarterback that you can cheer on, that's going to be an excellent player that will bring you plenty of team success. These are my thoughts on the Deshaun Watson rumors and the potential for him to go to Miami. I think of all the teams that would make sense, the one that makes the most sense right now is Miami, is the Dolphins, because of the Kyle Van Noy move that I think they don't make unless they're willing to make a push towards Deshaun Watson. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. It's Mitch of the Bottom Line View. Thanks for watching. Make sure you do spike that like button and subscribe for more NFL. Peace.